In this video, I'll take you on a Google Map tour of Markham Northeast side, exploring all the ins and outs of this thriving neighborhood, from the highlights to the challenges. I'll cover everything you need to know about one of the Markham hottest area. The northeast side of Markham is where you find most of the city's newer homes and exciting modern amenities. It's also home to some of the most affordable housing options in Markham. If names like Berczy, Wismer, Greensboro, and Cornell sound familiar, it's because these neighborhoods are some of the hottest and most popular spots for people looking to make the move to Markham. We're about to dive into all these amazing communities. However, in this video, we are going to start with Berczy and Wismer. And in the following video, we will cover Greensboro and Cornell to complete the Google tour of these new communities in Markham. Now, let's get started. If this is your first time in the Living in the Greater Toronto Area channel and you want to know everything about living in the Greater Toronto Area, then subscribe below and tap the bell for notifications so that you can be the first to know about the current market here in Toronto, Ontario. And in this case, we're going to talk about Markham. My name is Antonio and my business partner is Van. We get calls every day from people just like you, so whether you are moving in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to reach out as all of our contact information is in the description box below. We will be happy to help you make a smooth move to the Greater Toronto Area. The trio of communities in Northeast Markham, the Berczy, Wismer, and Greensboro has become increasingly popular among new immigrants. Geographically, these neighborhoods are located just east of Angus Glen, one of the Markham's more affluent areas. They share a northern boundary along Major Mackenzie Drive East and a southern boundary of 16th Avenue, stretching east from McCowan Road to 9th Line. So now let's take a look at the Google map, and we are here at the northeast corner of Markham. And this is Berczy Village here. We have Wismer right east of it, and then we have Greensboro at the northeastern part of Markham, and then we have Cornell, which is the most eastern part of Markham. But here, this formed the new trio plus the Cornell, which are the newest community in Markham. They are mostly built after 2010, which they are starting to be developed, and unlike the older part of Markham, like they are mostly built during the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But these are the most newer community you find in Markham. The trio on the northeast are mostly commonly known as the newest community. They have in common is that they have Bur Oak Avenue, which is this one here, that cut across in the middle of each of the community. So let me zoom out a little bit and I can draw this. This is the Bur Oak that cut across in the middle of each of the community from Berczy, Wismer to Greensboro. And here it's actually turned south at Cornell, with still relative cutting through the middle, so that's the principal street, and go all the way south. So we start with east of Kennedy Road, all the way from Berczy, Wismer, Greensboro, and then Cornell on the south. Now, the beauty of the newer community, they are very well planned out in terms of urban design, and green spaces is always part of the focus of the newer community. So they don't lack of any of the green spaces. And let's start with Berczy. Out of the 4 communities that we'll be discussing in this video, I'd say they have the largest and nicest park, and most commonly known is the Berczy North and also Berczy South. So here, as you can see, the Berczy Park North is located just north of Bur Oak Avenue, and then Berczy Park South is on the south side of Bur Oak Avenue. So let's start with this view. Perhaps I can show you what kind of amenity they have in this park. So as you can see here, they have 3 full-size soccer fields. North side just south of Castlemore Avenue. On the south side, you see the parking lot, which they have plenty of parkings, and also 2 tennis courts just right beside it. And there are some additional green spaces. And here is Berczy Park North, a playground for the kids. On the south side, there is a public washroom, and then there are more green space that can use as I believe, a dog park and more outdoor activities. And there is a pond in between and some additional green area. Just south of Bur Oak, Berczy Park South, which they do have a huge Berczy dog park they are famous for. If you have pets, this will be definitely a very, very friendly park for them. And here we have a full-size baseball diamond on the south side, and here is additional playground with, I believe they have a skate park as well built into the south. And here we do have a outdoor basketball court, and here on the south there is also another parking spot and additional 2 tennis court as well. And here also have a full-size soccer field as well. Again, there's additional park and trail along Glenbrook Drive. So as you can see, this is a huge park, and most of the other community also come here because of the beautiful park they have at Berczy. Now let me show you the map that we usually get from Realm, and here are selected the public, Catholic, and all the elementary, middle, and high school. And here this square is within Berczy. And this is Beckett Farm Public School, which served the southwest corner of this community at Berczy. And Stonebridge Public School pretty much take care of the east part of the community. And there's the third public school within this Berczy community is Castlemore Public School, which also qualify for the northwest part of the community. And lastly, here this is a Pierre Elliott Trudeau High School, which cover more than this area. However, this is a very well-known, highly rated high school, the entire Markham. They are well known. I'm pretty sure most parents already know about this, and why people come to Berczy is because of this high school. And for those that are looking for Catholic options, there is a Catholic school in All Saints Catholic Elementary School that also serves this community. Now let's hop back onto the Google map and let's talk about some of the amenity and the conveniences and grocery store around this Berczy. On the north border, it is the Major Mac, and East Principal Street is Kennedy Road. And in this corner, there is actually a commercial plaza that has many essential everyday stores that you may need. And also we have a TD Bank in the corner here, and we have a symposium cafe, and it's very large and has a very nice environment. And here you do have a Angus Glen Montessori School beside here, and also a Tim Hortons and Wild Wings sports bar, and also a pharmacy around the corner. Obviously there is the Angus Glen Golf Club just beside it, and this is pretty much like a 5-minute drive to Angus Glen, the community center. It is a huge community center that houses a basketball court and ice hockey rings and a library. Now so let's head back to the southwest corner of Berczy, which is 16 and Kennedy Road. In the past video, I also touched upon this Village Grocer, which is a very nice local grocery store that you find really many of the authentic produce and food and bakery. And they are very famous for their meat chop and also a lot of vegetables, and especially the pastry are really well known. And they have a great variety that attracts many other part of the community to come and enjoy the goods from this Village Grocer. So next up, we have also a Fresh Co in the west corner, which is located in this plaza here near Bur Oak and McCowan. And here is the Fresh Co for any Western grocery shopping. Just right beside it, in this plaza, you also find a Vietnamese noodle if you are craving for it. And there is also a Church Texas Chicken fast food restaurant here. And more importantly, there is a Chinese dim sum place that is called Fortune Villa if you're craving for Chinese dim sum. And also, if you take McCowan down south, you will also reach the Markville Mall just within probably less than 10-minute drive. And this is Markville Mall, the largest indoor shopping center in Markham. And if you're looking for Chinese grocery shopping, we do have in the corner of McCowan and Highway 7, and this is Food Mart Supermarket. It's a well-known Chinese supermarket store. And if you think this is not enough, we have 2 more additional Chinese grocery store not far away from Berczy. We're talking about less than 10-minute drive to this location in Cachet, or you can drive down here to another location of TNT. So you have 2 choices of TNT. I would say it's almost identical distance, but my preference will go here that is less crowded. I think here is much more busier location. However, you have much more options here for Chinese restaurant, and some of the authentic Chinese cuisines restaurant around this corner as well. So bottom line, there is really no lack of any supermarket, whether it's Asian or Western supermarket, you find plenty of options. So now let's jump on to Ream to check out some of the homes that were sold in Berczy, see how they like. And as you can see, this is York Markham Berczy, and for freehold, this is just the home that were sold during November of 2024 as of recording of the video, and there are only about 9 that were sold during November. Let's quickly check out the average price for the 9 homes. It is about $1,866,000. So these are the home, and here let's take a look at the most recent sale here at 4 Hunters Corners, and it was listed for 1.6 and eventually sold for $1,588,000. This is a single double car garage, and as you can see, this is pretty modernized with updated flooring and pot lights. It looks spectacular and moving ready. As you can see, the kitchen is modernized, well kept and updated, and they have fairly good size of bedroom, and they have a pretty large back patio. It was fully padded with interlock. For those that don't want to maintain the backyard, this would be a great option. So this detached home, the lot size is 30 by 82 feet, which is a decent size lot front in the Berczy area. So now let's take a look at the semi-detached home of Berczy, and we have only one that was sold in November, and this is 16 Cobble Hill Court and sold for $1,225,000. As you can see, this is a very nice semi-detached home in the area, and as well it looks spacious and modernized. The kitchen is well updated with new appliances and countertops, and it looks spectacular. And this does have a very nice backyard with an interlock area as well, and this also has a pretty decent lot size of 21 by 105 feet, which is quite decent. And now let's take a look for the townhouses, and there were only one transaction that transacted in November, which is this one here at 59 Thoroughbred Way in Markham, and it was listed for $987,000 and sold for $1 million, which is quite nice. This is the exterior with the single garage at the front, and this is a decent size townhouse with hardwood flooring throughout, and we have a standard kitchen with standard appliances, and there's a nice kitchen breakfast area. And we do have a backyard in this townhouse, which is a very nice touch. And this townhouse has a modest lot size of 23 by 75 feet, which is quite decent. This is definitely one of the great buy for $1 million freehold townhouse at Berczy. So now let's take a look at the condo apartment in Berczy, which is very limited. From my understanding, we only have one low-rise building in Berczy. So this is 540 Bur Oak, unit 540, and this was listed for $580,000 and eventually sold for $571,000. This is a 1+1 bedroom with 2 parking spaces and between 600 to 699 square feet. And this is the exterior of the building. As you can see, this is a low rise, and they have a fairly large lobby, and this is the unit, which I think is quite decent. The layout is quite open, and they have a very open concept kitchen. And this is another view of the living area, and here you can see the den just right behind it, which you can use it as an office or computer room. And this is a modest size bedroom with huge window that draw tons of natural light. And here is the fairly large built-in closet. This is the den. Look like the washroom has been updated, and part of the amenity you get the gym, party room, and it does have an indoor virtual golf and the terrace area. It does offer some condo apartments at the lowest price point for Berczy at $571,000. So now let's continue on looking at the Google map, and we are taking a look at Wismer, which is just east of Berczy. Let's take a look at the location. We are sharing the similar north border, Major Mackenzie Drive on the north, and then we have McCowan that is sharing the east and west border that's separate between Berczy and Wismer. And on the south we have 16th Avenue, and lastly we have Markham Road, which is sitting right here, which is the east border of Wismer. And this is a principal street that has a lot of commercial plazas and major department stores, so we're going to take a look later. And this forms the perfectly square neighborhood of Wismer. Similarly, like Berczy, they have Wismer Park sitting on the middle, which is also a huge park. Maybe we can jump onto it. So this is a better view. And we have actually 4 full-size soccer field side by side. And on the west, we also have a playground for children and also enough area for walking the dog. And on the north side near Castlemore Avenue is the parking lot for this park. And there's another parking lot on the east side. And right on the south, you have 2 tennis courts. And further down, you have another playground for the children. And further south, you see another public basketball court. And this is sitting just north of Bur Oak. And here also a trail area as well. Now let's jump right in to check out all the schools that are available at Wismer. And as you can see, there are even more schools in this community. So starting from the north side, we have John McCrae Public School that goes all the way to elementary, middle. And then we have another Donald Cousin Public School which serves the northeast part of Wismer. And then we have Wismer Public School which serves southwest part of Wismer, and then we have Fred Varley Public School which served the southeastern part. Bur Oak Secondary School basically covered this area including Greensboro as the secondary school or high school. And for Catholic option, we have here San Lorenzo Ruiz Catholic Elementary School that is sitting just here at 840 Bur Oak that serve Wismer community. And Bur Oak Secondary School ranked pretty high at 8.8 and ranked 15 out of 689 secondary school in Markham. So now let's head back to the Google map and explore the amenities and hospitality that you get in Wismer. And starting from the east, which pretty much share similar amenities with Berczy community. And similarly here on the west side of Wismer, you get the Fresh Co, a grocery store, and you can get like familiar items similar to No Frills and Sobeys. And this is the plaza that you usually go to if you live in the west side of Wismer. And again, there's the Chinese dim sum place that is nearby, which is quite convenient to have Chinese food inside the community. So that's the west side. And now let's go to the principal street here in Markham Road. And this is where most of the action is. So starting from the north side, in the major intersection of Major Mackenzie Drive and Markham Road, you have big Esso in the corner, and there is also a Tim Hortons if you want to grab a fast coffee. Let's give you a street view to this, the major intersection of Markham Road and Major Mackenzie. And as you can see here, there's a huge Tim Hortons with seating area. And just right beside it, there's also a Wendy's fast food if you want to grab a burger. So this is a huge street, as you can see, on Markham Road. As you go down, there are a lot of commercial plaza. So just further down, you will see some more smaller plaza. And here, another Hong Kong style restaurant. And here you can find some quick Hong Kong fusion dishes. And on the left side, you find a TD Bank. And further down, you find Chatime Bubble Tea, which is a very famous Taiwanese bubble tea place. And they serve many type of bubble tea and snacks and also pastries. And conveniently, this location also have seatings, which makes a very inviting environment to meet up with friends and families. And also inside this plaza, you can also find another grocery store in Food Basics, which is very convenient, and a PetSmart. And we have a used clothing store as well, and some other Asian cuisine in Delight Restaurant and Barbecue. Just across it, there's also a huge furniture store in the brick, and alongside there are some fitness clubs and auto repair shops and a dance studio. Like I said, it is a huge commercial street that you can find almost everything from pizza to Chinese food to bubble tea. You name it, they probably have it. And just further down, they have the beer store also available, and the Home Depot, which is very convenient for handy tools that you can find quickly, and also the LCBO. In addition, there are all the essential banks such as the CIBC, Bank of Montreal, the Canada Post, and Shoppers Drug Mart. And we have some Taekwondo Academy and a bike studio. There are a lot of things going on here. Near the bigger intersection at 16th Avenue and Markham Road, you can find Markham Museum. This is an interesting museum that hosts a lot of historic items, history of Markham. I believe there is an admission to this, but it is a huge area. Give you a street view of the area. So this is the entrance of the Markham Museum. Let me show you the site here. So it is a huge area. There's a historic train tracks and the train that you can see during the 1980s, I believe, or 1960s. If you haven't been there, this should be a very interesting site to take a look at the history of Markham. And so right across you also see the Garden Basket. It is a huge local grocery store with a lot of produce and items that you don't see often in a regular local grocery store. And this plaza is actually shared between the community of Wismer and Greensboro that we are going to explore next. So similarly, because it is so close to Berczy, you can also get to those Asian supermarket like TNT in both locations that I mentioned earlier. Maybe add another 2 to 5 minutes of travel time by car. But similarly, you have so much option for groceries, and also because it is close to Markham Road, there are a lot of options from fast food to Asian cuisines to many other restaurants. You name it, they probably have it. Like McDonald's is just around the corner, and we have like a Papa Chang's. It is a small Taiwanese cuisine, and it is just around the corner, which is very convenient. And this is the community of Wismer. So now, before I jump in to show you some houses at Wismer, let me show you how the street like and the residential area looks like in Wismer. So let me give you a street view. So most of the street here look quite wide, especially on the principal street like this. And the street are usually very quiet and very calm. And the street lamps has a little touch of historic site. And that carry over even at Berczy and also here in Wismer. They are very similar in terms of the appearance of the street. Obviously, there are a lot of trees along the street, and some of the street also have some bike lanes as well. So I hope this can show you how the street look like in the northeast part of Markham. And in a community like this at Wismer and Berczy, they are mostly built and developed in the early 2000s, and until presently there are still many of the subdivision that is building on these two community, part of the northeast of Markham. Now let's jump into Wismer and looking at the freehold single detached homes during November as of recording this video, and there are only 4 transactions. Let's quickly take a look at the average prices, and currently for the 4 homes, it is averaging about $1,842,000. Very similar to what you get in Berczy as well. So let's take a look at the most recent sales. This is a single detached home at 36 McKinnon Street, and it was listed for $1,288,000 and sold over asking, which I think this is probably the actual expected price at $1,408,000. So this is a single detached home with 2 single door garage and additional parking space in the front. And this is a modern 2-door garage bungalow at Wismer. Very interesting. For those that looking for bungalow instead of 2-story, this would be a really good option. And this has a pretty modest lot size, almost 45 by 85 feet, which is quite modest. Let's quickly take a look at the interior, and here is airy and has ample of space with a huge large window that draw a lot of natural light. There are really upgraded flooring and pot light all throughout. It seems like it is all updated and have a huge living area and also a dining area. And to me, it looks very bright and airy. And they also have some modern railing that goes to the, I think, the stairs to the basement. And we do have a huge kitchen with modest amount of carpentry and a nice countertop with new appliances. And the washroom looks like it has been updated all throughout. And the lower level is also fully finished, and as you can see, it's pretty huge with a lot of space and modern pot lights, and it's pretty bright. And I believe on the basement they have additional rooms. Does have a huge backyard with fully fenced up and also interlock area for patio and good amount of green grass area. Here's another look. So it's a pretty updated and modernized bungalow in Markham that you can find. So now let's take a look at all the semi-detached homes at Wismer, which we only found one that were sold in November, and this is 54 Crofton Crescent, and it was listed for $1,288,000 and eventually sold for $1,355,000. This is a 3-bed with total of 2 parking spaces and 3 baths. So this is the exterior of the semi-detached home, which look quite modern, and you have a single detached garage at the front with additional space at the front as well. And here is the lot size information. It's almost about 29 feet by 84 feet, which is again quite modest for a semi-detached home. And let's quickly take a look at the interior. So they do have an updated living area, which looks quite impressive here, and modern pot lights and also ceramic flooring. And the kitchen is quite open with modern carpentry and standard appliances. Here, as you can see, the powder room also updated, and here is the second floor, which look quite updated as well with hardwood flooring, and they have a modest bedroom size as well. And here for this semi-detached home, the fences are quite impressive with modern fencing and also huge green area. Here is another look. There's a deck that goes to the backyard, and here is once again the fence are quite modern and also quite stylish. And this is how the semi-detached home looks like in Wismer for $1,355,000. So now let's quickly take a look at the freehold townhouse in Wismer. And as of November, we had only 1 sales, and this is 1044 Bur Oak Avenue, and this is the exterior of the townhouse, which is quite new. And this is a 3+1 bed with 4 bathrooms, and there are a total of 3 parking spaces. It should be at the back. We're going to take a look at the picture later on. And this is listed for $999,900 and sold for $1,150,000. Let's quickly take a look at the lot size. This is almost like a 20 by 108 feet, and this is the lot size, which is on the average. Let's take a look at the exterior, which look quite nice with a little bit of the front yard, and there's a step going to the main entrance. And here is the kitchen with decent carpentry and appliances with the marble countertop. We have some ceramic tiles, and we have a finished basement with nice finishes, and they have updated the washroom from top to bottom, and we have additional room in the basement as well. And here's a rear lane where you can find the double car garage at the back and additional parking space just behind the garage. Here you also have a backyard and also a detached garage that is not attached to the townhouse. And here is another look to the back entrance. Obviously there's a interlock area where you can place this patio furniture and also can host barbecue in this area. These are some of the townhouse example at Wismer. Now let's look at the last asset class at Wismer, which is condo apartment. From my understanding, there are a couple of new buildings, high rises that was built in the past 5 years. I believe this is one of them, and this is 9560 Markham Road. And this unit was 1 bedroom, 1 parking, and between 500 to 599 square feet, listed for $488,000, which is quite impressive, and sold for $525,000. That's not a bad option for young professional or young couple to start family. This is the one of the lowest entry price to enter the market here at Wismer. And this is the condo, and we have a fairly large lobby, and this is the 1 bedroom unit, and this has a pretty nice layout and also a very practical kitchen layout. And here you can find the L-shaped kitchen, and this has plenty of kitchen cabinets and also all the standard appliances. As you can see, it is quite bright and also has a balcony facing the living room, and it does have a very modest sized bedroom with triple sliding door built-in closet and a standard 4-piece washroom in the unit. And part of the amenity, you get the gym area and then a billiard and also party rooms and also terrace area to host barbecue. And here is one of the sample of condo that you can find in Wismer. I hope this Google tour of Berczy and Wismer communities give you a clearer picture of what these neighborhoods look like. If you're considering a move here, I hope you find this helpful. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss part 2 of this tour, where I'll cover Greensboro and Cornell, completing the newest communities in the Northeast Markham. My goal is to provide a guide that helps you understand what it's like to live in Markham's newest neighborhoods. I can't wait to see you in the next part.